guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks on another episode of the Back Shop. We're going to build a structure here. It's the Banta Model Works HO scale hotel. And I believe I picked this up at the Amherst show last year, and it's just been sitting here. We're going to turn this into a bar and a brothel upstairs. So we're going to do a little kit bashing. I might change out these windows and put some titchy windows in it, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so let me just get started doing this. Doing a voiceover because somehow the sound completely did not work. So let's get into this model. There's a lot of wood and stuff in it. This is a Craftsman kit, and this is the first Craftsman kit I've ever built, so this should be really interesting. Let's pull out these instructions, and there's a lot of stuff in there. We'll figure that out. Let's open these up and take a look at these. That's kind of what it's supposed to look like, and it's pretty good. A lot of words. I'll probably read it. Probably won't. That's all the, oh look, all the parts. Let's go check those out. See what everything we got in there. And we'll start laying everything out, I guess. And figure out what we're going to do. That's the internal bracings. That's the inside of the wall. You got to lay all these boards on here, one little piece at a time. It's kind of crazy, but we're going to do it. And yeah. Let's go. There's all the stuff you're supposed to need. I'm using a good old Type Bond 2. Why? Because I don't have Type Bond 1 around. We're using the 2. It's going to be waterproof, water resistant. It's going to be built like it's never been built before. So I got these boxes at Costco the other day, and it's a 4-pack of them. And I use them a lot. I like them, especially if I'm in the middle of a project. I can just put everything into one of these boxes. Here comes the magic box. All right, it's got a little clip on it too. So we're gonna empty this. We'll empty all the stuff out and look at it. All right, this is the box I got. So it's pretty big. It's about the size of a big shoe box. And they're cheap too. I got like 4 of them for like $8 or something like that. I carry all my structures to the Fremo for Fremo and Hot Tracks and all of them. I carry all the structures in these things. There's all the parts. As you'll see, I should really read instructions. You'll see later on. I made a couple little mistakes that were fixable. And but it just would have been better if I would have read the instructions. The roof, the floor. So we'll start getting. We'll close that lid and we'll get gluing on these things. All right. So you want to identify the floor piece. Obviously, you can see what the roof is. That's the floor. Put that on top of the sub. Actually, that's supposed to be the foundation. You really don't see it. I guess when it's glued down to something, you'll see it. But you do scenery around it, you're gonna miss it. It's gonna disappear, so it doesn't really matter. But you do actually need it on there later on because it does stiffen this whole thing up. Yeah, they updated their bottom piece. I guess it just speeds up production. You don't have to cut all that stuff out in the middle, which is fine. It doesn't really do anything. It just gets it to be a little more solid. There's the roof panel. We'll get more into that later. The floor has a top and bottom. So for some reason I missed it. There was another piece that goes on top of there that's actually engraved like floorboards. And I'm like, oh, I guess they changed that too, but I didn't notice that piece was in there. So I'm going to waste a little time coming up, and I'm probably going to engrave it. The left and right can be swapped, but you have to make sure you get the pitch of the roof right, because it pitches from front to back. If you don't put it on right, you're gonna have a messed up looking roof. The front piece can only go on one way, so that's pretty much the way that's going. For some reason, I decided to put the staircase on the other side. I don't know why. I just decided to do it on, just to change it up a little bit. No, forgot what I was saying here, but I decided to swap that to the other side, and it fits. So the left and right sides can go either way. The front can only go to the front, and the rear can only go to the rear, and the front can only go in one way. And since this is a new project, I'm going to switch over to a brand new number 11 blade. There was a company in Germany that used to make these. I had like a 4-pack of them, and I used them all up. Those blades never got dull. I mean, they lasted me forever. So I wish I could find them. If anyone knows the name of that German company that makes these blades, post it in the comments. You can realize you always want to start a project with a brand new blade. It's so much easier to work with. I'm probably going to go through a bunch of blades with this project. Take out my ruler. Too bad they stopped making them. They don't make. I don't know if they stopped making them or I just haven't been able to find a new one. That's a used one I got off of eBay for $10. It does HO and OO. Yeah, so here I go and I start marking this thing out to describe the floorboards in, which I didn't have to because there was a floorboard piece that went in there. I marked them up and I lined them up, and they came out pretty decent looking. All right, now that we got all that done, now we can go and start gluing everything together. Did I give this a wash first? Yeah, I think I'm going to give this a wash first. I'm just going to check this out to see how flat this thing is. It's actually pretty flat. All right, we'll bust out the old Type Bond. This Type Bond 2 is about a year old, so it's getting close to the end of its shelf life. I got this little piece of wire here to help me get glue on stuff. Actually, I think that wire is it's off of a tortoise switch. All right, we're just going to add some glue to the sides of the bottoms of the castings and the side of the pegs, so we get a nice good bond in there. I will say that later on, it turns out this model went together. This part went together really simple, and it's pretty solid, which I was shocked. I thought it was going to be a little more flimsy, but it's not. I'm going to use my 1, 2, 3 to keep this thing square. Give it a couple of minutes to set up. You know me, I'm freaking impatient. Going to clean up any of the squeeze out on the outside of this thing. So, you know what I could do? I'm gonna put the second one on. Yeah, why? Because I'm impatient. You know me. I can't sit still. I gotta keep going. Well, that lines up in there pretty decent. No, let me go ahead and do it. It's amazing. This Type Bond, as it gets older, it really starts to set up quick. You'll see through the whole video. I start changing out. I start cleaning up and pulling out new Type Bond all the time. It looks like I'm putting a lot of glue on there, but it's really not a lot. I really did not get a lot of squeeze out on this model, and it worked out really good. I want to get the tabs that go down into the foundation. I want to get those in there so those get nice and glued up. Some people say they put these together with a medium thick CA. I guess you could do that. I don't like really using CA only as a bonding agent because if it doesn't soak into the wood for some reason, you kind of glue to that top layer of wood, which is very thin. I really like. I prefer this stuff, the wood glue. It gets in there. I can honestly tell you, I've never had a glue joint fail on anything I've ever built when I've used a Type-On glue. All right, we'll get this lined up with the 1, 2, 3 block again, front and side. Push this in, make sure it's all pushed into the foundation good. And that's that. Well, you know me. I'm still impatient. I can't let it dry. Why would I let it dry? It would just make sense. Take 5 minutes, go upstairs, get myself a glass of water or something. Have a coffee. Have a nice espresso or something. I don't know. Nope. Here we go. Putting the other side in. I know. That looks like a lot of glue. It's not. It's not. I'm laying it on pretty thin. Getting in there. Getting all the edges that are coming in contact with each other. These pushed square together. This I was surprised on how nice this went together, and how it locked in, and everything just stayed square. It just didn't. It really didn't even need the 1, 2, 3 blocks. I just used those just to push everything into place. You see, I pushed it in. It bowed that top in a little bit, but that's all right. And once again, I'm impatient, but this Type-On is actually drying pretty quick. Well, we found out why the audio wasn't working. All right, so we got this so far together. This is the back wall. So I'm actually just I'm gonna put the stuff on this back wall. I'm just gonna do it right to the back wall. There's no real rhyme or reason for this. There's one window. Okay. No. All right. So you're always gonna have a window at the top of the stairs. So there's the top of the stairs. So this which side. So go ahead and look. All right, and this sits on top later on. All right, guys, so we're gonna let this dry. All right, we're right back. All right, guys, so we're back. And going back through the instructions, I did cut those lines in there, but there was a subfloor. I should have just looked at everything better. I'm a typical guy. I just go for it. Just wing it. So that's a little messed up. I'm supposed to put that in before that went in, but we can get it in there. So I'm going to start staining the wood. This is the Vitro solution. It's I believe Jason Jensen uses this, and one other guy uses some that company. It's supposed to be pretty good stuff. We're gonna know in a second. I like to flip it over and look. Not a lot of settlement in the bottom, but as always, give it a shake. They actually sell a cool box that they cut for it. It's a little pricey. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna buy it, but it's a little pricey. All right, so this is the murky brown. I want to use this. I want to go with this one first because I want to do something to the subfloor. Trying to keep stuff from warping, you gotta do both sides. All right. I thoroughly understand why they make a holder for these things, and I'm definitely going to buy it because I've already knocked almost just on the table with the lid closed. I knocked them over twice, so I understand that. So, and they tell you that sometimes when these dry, I don't know if you can see the difference in the color in there, but that's the aged gray. Old barnwood. I'm going to touch it up. With the murky brown where I want the murky brown to come in. This supposedly just cleans up with isopropyl alcohol, right? Let me just double check that. Soap and water. So that's what we're going to do. What I want with the murky brown, I'm going to give it a shot. Well, they got the top off. Oh, that was tight. Whew. And you know I'm getting older. Come on. Just want you guys to know I'm recouping pretty good from the surgery. I appreciate all the kind words I got from you guys. I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't matter. I think it's disappearing. I want it to look like a used walkway. Murky brown's pretty good. All right. So basically, what it looks like in the structure is pretty much aged barnwood. So we're going to do it. I'm going to go savage on this. And just lay them out. I know they're going to be uneven looking because they're going to have different layers, but that's the way wood is. It's not even. We're just going to lay these out. Some are going to have a little more, some are going to have a little less. I mean, I did a lot of alcohol in this. You can smell it, not going to lie. But that's good because that just means this is going to dry that much faster. If I want to put a second layer on it, I can put a second layer on it, coat on it. So this is drying pretty quick. It's not warping. So that's a plus. Guys, so welcome back. As you can see, I did a little more. I didn't think you're gonna want to watch me just keep putting these pieces on. I'm trying to just stagger colors. I went with the dark ones down the bottom, figuring, I don't know, figuring to get a little shade on them, maybe water, kind of darken them up a little bit. I'm probably gonna go over this entire thing when this is all put together and this whole outside's done. I'm probably gonna go over the whole thing with this aged barnwood, a whole second dose on it, because some of the stuff it's going to darken up what's dark, it's going to darken up what's light, but they're going to stay separate. I even did another one where I dipped it in for a third time because I thought some of the stuff was still a little bit too light. So we got up to this roof awning over here, which goes in. This is going to go in here later on. It's going to have a nice tilt to it. I'm going to have to do a little work to get that to sit in there nice. And then the staircase is on the side over here. So that's basically where I stopped. So now I'm just letting these dry up. I'm basically just taking, as you saw me do in the front, I'm just taking this, I'm just dipping it in and then just going from there. I got to figure out what I'm going to do over here. I'm probably going to do a little fancy cutting around here with a piece and get it to look nicely nice. I don't know, but we'll figure that out. So, because I want it, because the sides and back are matching up. The front is off a little bit. And I don't know if I was supposed to start. It doesn't matter, because this first course is down with the bottom smooth to the bottom of the floor piece. And it's just showing these little pegs sticking out the side. So there's that. So, and then this wall started on top of these. I put these on first. I don't know if I was supposed to do the wall first and then that. I don't know. Okay, so I've decided I'm not going to do the first. I'm not going to do really anything on the first floor besides maybe put lights in it. And to do that, I'm actually going to have to cut paper and slide paper in the back to keep the light from coming through. The second floor, I'm gonna build a second floor on this, an interior. These windows, you're gonna be able to look in, and it's a brothel. So there's gonna be look through this window, or this window over here, and there's gonna be a bed and a couple on the bed, sealing the deal. So, and there's gonna be a light in here. It's going to be controlled by a Woodland Scenics kit. I want to put a red light over the door over here, a little red light district, a little whatever, and have that. That's kind of what I'm working on. The doors and windows, probably using the factory door, the original door that came with the kit for the front. And the window, maybe the window for the front, I might have a tissue window that fits, but these front windows up here, I have tissues that will fit in between the openings perfectly, but they're arched, gives a little more light coming in so you can see in a little bit better. And I got a tissue door on the side that you can see in. I might use that door. It depends on how crazy I want to do with building out a interior over here, because it makes no sense. This thing's supposed to be a hotel. It's a one-room hotel. So, but the downstairs is going to be a bar. I'm going to make a little bar sign, a little homage to my area. I'm probably going to print out the sign that says Tara's on it and put it on there. Yeah, so we're just gonna let this dry, and we'll be back. All right, guys. So it's the next day. I'm back downstairs. I don't know where I left off in the video, but this is where I'm starting off today. All right. So basically, what I've been doing is I've been doing the sides, and then trimming it as flush as I can with the back of the building. I mean, I obviously have enough pieces. I haven't used all the correct pieces in all the correct spots, but that's part of the learning curve. Next time I'll actually read the instructions when I do one of these. But since this is a beginner for me, I figured I'd give it a shot. All right, so I mean, it's coming out pretty good. These windows are going to get opened up because I'm actually, what I decided last night was I'm going to use the factory door downstairs because I like it. The factory window downstairs, I believe in the front because I don't have a bigger one that fits from Tichy. I'm going to put a Tichy door over here, and this is going to be a Tichy window, and this might be a Tichy window too. I don't remember if I grabbed that, but I'm going to put a second window over here. I got to start planning the floor for in here. That's pretty much the next thing I got to do, and figure out how I'm going to get that in there. But that's coming up very shortly. So we're just going to finish it out. This top row is a little bit proud over there, but that's the way it kind of needed to be. I'm going to trim that down. Front's a little proud too. What's nice is that this subboard, I don't know what this is made of. I guess it's made of plywood, whatever, but it's pretty dense compared to the rest of this stuff. So it doesn't file easy, it doesn't sand easy. So you kind of get the sand right down to it. All right, so I'm gonna put a little window in over there. All right, so that side's done, and then what I've been doing is I've been sanding it flat with the back. This door's not cut open yet. Had a little mishap yesterday. I accidentally cracked this off, and I reinforced it with a piece of leftover siding. So I mean, I don't know if you can see that in there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start doing this. I'll probably I'll just fast motion through this because you don't really need to sit and watch this whole drawn out thing. It takes forever. All right, guys. I had another brown tie somewhere, so we're going to make one. I'll let that dry out, and we'll go from there. So basically, this window is going to get painted, and that's going to go in that back there. It's a Tichy. I just think the Tichy windows just look better. They just do. I'm not gonna lie to you. This window over here is already sized out. I don't have a titchy window to fit it, so we're gonna move on from there. Actually, hold on. Wait a second. I just scored a whole ton of titchy stuff. That window's going there, and if I remember correctly, this window's going back here. Alright, so we got that in there. We're going to let that dry. I'm actually going to have to put paper on the inside of these walls to block it out because I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can't really, there's gaps. And I wanted that. I wanted that to look, that gives it that worn look. This whole building is going to get a coating of aged barnwood one more time. It's going to gray up the light ones. It's going to make everything darker. It's going to darken up and it's going to make even the brown is going to come out a little darker. I wanted that to look like there was a patch put in there. Same, there's a little gap over here, like the wood broke off the corner, but that corner piece, most of that's going to get covered up by the trim. So we'll go from there. And then I'm probably going to come over here and I'm probably going to try my hand at dry brushing some color on a little bit so it doesn't just look like planks in the middle of the friggin' nowhere. So we'll go from there. Just got to wait for this to finish drying. As you can see a lip over here, how much this space is, how much overhang there is there. We did away with that up front. So they're supposed to get trim pieces like this. There's two different sizes. There's a 9 and a 10. So I'm assuming you put the 10 on one side and the 9, let's put the 9 on first right up to the flat and then the 10 over it to make it look like it's whatever. Alright, so we're going to let this dry over here. We're going to go in the box over here and we're going to pull out the stairs. Alright, so there's 2 A's, a B, and a C. It doesn't actually say on there A, B, and C. Yeah, all right, so on here it's labeled A, B, and C, so the big one is C. So that's what we're going to do. I thought about it. I probably should have given these a wash. So the nice thing about this is there's a lot of alcohol in this, so these dry out pretty quick. And do that, dries them out even faster. Oh man, one day I'll clean off this whole entire counter. No, I won't. I'll leave it at that because that's just the way I like to function. It's just me. That's a little different. So on the instructions, it shows this piece C going on the bottom, but on the actual piece, that C is locking into this back piece right here. All right, you know, make a correction for the staircase. C fits on the ground, not to the porch. Screw to the. All right, so. Not exactly sure what happened there, but that was a change in production. Alright guys, so I got the building all framed out. I got to cut out these windows, sides. This front's got to get trimmed up. The fronts are getting different windows. They're getting titchies. The titchy door, titchy window, titchy window, titchy window. Nah, that might not be a titchy window. I'm not sure about that yet. I don't think I have the right size. But we're going to go from there. So here we are with the stairs. And I cut out a bunch of pieces. It's not enough, but I just to get going. The reason why I'm concerned with this side is this is the side that mates up against the building. Probably gonna have to trim these down, but I'd rather trim down the outside as long as I have, you know, and I don't want to do too much work on this inside piece. But I think I'm gonna, it'll screw up some of the alignments. They lined up on that side. Probably gonna have to do a little filing, but still going. All right, so we'll keep going. I cut a couple of. I cut 1, 2, 3, 4 more of those. They look pretty good. And so, like I said, everything's gonna get a wash. This up here gets more boards laid on there, so we're gonna have to do that when this all dries up. So we're gonna let this dry up. I'll let this dry up. Actually, this should be pretty dry. This is gonna be a 2-part video. I thought I was gonna get this all done in one video. It's way too long. So we're just gonna get the structure done in this video, and I'm going to do the next video is going to be me doing the windows and doors in this. That's just the way it is. I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. Everything's, my back-wise is feeling actually pretty good. So I'm really happy about that. All right, guys, so we got the stairs done and pretty much done. But that's generally what it's going to look like. I got a couple of beauty shots for this and put it in here. But it goes on the side of the building like that. I still have to lay boards across the top of this piece right here, and that'll be that. I guess that matches up to the doorway, or do I got to trim down the doorway? No, I still got to trim down on that doorway, I think. And so this is going to be a titchy door in here, because I just like the way the door looks better. Where is it? I think it's a better looking door, personally. So that's why I'm putting that in. I just think it looks better. So that's going to go in there. I really like the titchy stuff. It adds a little bit more. I think it's a little finer detail. I mean, this front's going to be the original door and the original window down here in the bar, and then these are going to be titchy windows up top. You're really not going to see this because it's all going to get half covered. Putting a titchy window on this side, like I said, and this might be a titchy window. I'm not sure 100% yet. This is going to be a titchy window in the back. I just really like the way they look. So we have that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Jack on Tracks. Like and subscribe. You're going to have to hit your notification buttons, because I bought a I know I'm a titchy boy. A titchy train group flat car. I think I'm going to do that as a giveaway. I just got to figure out how to do it again. Got to check the new rules for the new year, and then I'll put up all the information on that. That's going to be a build series. I'm going to try to do that in maybe 3 videos, because it's going to be a flat car. I'm going to get a wood deck for it. I'll put the name of the company. They bought most of or all of American Model Builders, which is just fantastic news, because it's a great company. They had great products. I mean, I know a lot of stuff they had is for hardcore modelers, and there's not really many of those guys left in the hobby anymore, it seems. Everyone just buys ready to run stuff, maybe slaps on a wash and calls it weathered. I'm not criticizing, because I don't weather stuff. But, that's it. Maybe a person will build a kit, but they'll buy ready built stuff now. So, which I'm not going to complain about, because I'm doing that too for another module. But we're going to do that kit, and I'm going to see if I can find a good looking 3D load for it. I think I got one lined up, and it's interesting, and I think it's going to look good on there. And we're going to put that together, and we're going to do it as a giveaway. You're going to have your notification on for that. All right, guys, once again, I really do appreciate you guys watching, and as always, I'll catch you later.